The reason why so many people are struggling is because they've lost contact with God. The anxiety, the depression that leads to addiction, that's ultimately a reflection of being out of alignment with God. So if we come back into alignment with God, we're able to clear that away. We're able to liberate ourselves from that.
Yeah, probably the thing is at the beginning, like the first steps are like suffering. So as you don't want to see that suffering, you don't want to go into the trauma because you have to go deep into the trauma to like clear it. You have to accept it like, okay, I am wounded, bad things happen to me. And then through that acceptance, you clear it. And I guess what happens is that many people they don't even want to go there because they feel overwhelmed. It's like, no, this is too much for me, so I'm not going to be able to handle it. That's why they live their whole lives without actually listening to themselves.
Uh-huh. But I go into it with the perspective of I'm healed. So when you go into it with the divine knowing that the highest possible timeline is always available to you, and that you are love at your core, the wounding is actually an illusion because our core essence is healed. Our core essence is beyond all pain and all fear. That's a reflection of what we are not. And so when you go in with that perspective, you basically light up the space and it begins to clear very quickly. And when it comes to that kind of shadow work, in the early stages of awakening, that can be maybe too much for people to go into. It's only really in the more recent years that I've really begun to clear very quickly the trauma from my past. I tried when I was first stepping onto the spiritual path, but the beginning of my journey was more a process of raising my vibration. It was more a process of focusing in a more positive direction. And then from that space, when you've experienced the connection of God, the awakening and knowing that God is with you, then it's much easier to go into those spaces and liberate the trauma. Is that making sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about the Kundalini awakening. This is like we're going chronologically, right? It was first the
Yeah.
injury, then the car accident.